These women were more than just actresses. They were icons, scene stealers, and storytellers who moved millions. But behind the fame and smiles, their hearts were quietly breaking down. Here are 10 beloved actresses we lost to heart failure gone too soon, but never forgotten. Debbie Reynolds was not just a star, she was a symbol of Hollywood's golden age. With her sparkling eyes, infectious laugh, and girl-next-door charisma, she lit up the screen in timeless classics like Singin' in the Rain and Tammy and The Bachelor. But behind the curtain of her musical success lay a life of resilience. Debbie endured 3 highly publicized divorces, including one with Eddie Fisher, who left her for Elizabeth Taylor. Financial ruin hit her hard when her 3rd husband squandered her wealth, forcing her to rebuild from scratch. Yet Debbie never lost her grace. She rebuilt her career through stage work, voice acting, and later became a fierce advocate for film preservation, amassing one of the world's largest collections of Hollywood memorabilia. Her deep love for her daughter, actress Carrie Fisher, was evident to all. When Carrie died suddenly in December 2016, Debbie reportedly told her son, "I want to be with Carrie." She died just the next day, a moment that touched millions around the world. Many believe her final breath was taken out of love, proof that a mother's heart, even as it breaks, can still be full of devotion. Julie Harris was one of the most respected actresses of the 20th century, a true artist's artist. Known for her soft voice and introspective manner, she captivated theatergoers with her emotional intensity and stunning versatility. Over a career that spanned 6 decades, Harris earned 5 Tony Awards, more than any other actress in history at the time, for roles in I Am a Camera, The Lark, 40 Carats, The Last of Mrs. Lincoln, and The Belle of Amherst. She brought literary heroines and complex women to life with a sincerity that felt both raw and transcendent. She made audiences weep, reflect, and feel deeply. On screen, she earned acclaim in films like East of Eden and The Haunting, and on television in countless dramas and adaptations. A deeply private person, Julie never chased fame, she chased truth in performance. In her later years, she suffered from multiple health issues, including strokes and congestive heart failure, but remained gracious and grounded until the end. Her death marked the loss of one of America's most luminous theatrical voices. Anne Francis wasn't just a beauty, she was a quiet revolutionary. Known for her memorable role as Altaira in the sci-fi classic Forbidden Planet, 1956, she helped redefine what it meant to be a woman on screen. Her performance in Honey West, where she played a glamorous and tough private detective, earned her an Emmy nomination and marked a milestone in female-led television. With her signature blonde bob and that unmistakable mole on her cheek, Anne was an icon of 1950s and 60s Hollywood style, but she was never content to be a mere decoration. Anne pushed for more substantial roles and eventually became a director and producer, working behind the camera when Hollywood failed to offer her meaningful parts. In her final years, she fought cancer with courage and continued to engage with fans through her personal blog, sharing her thoughts and faith openly. Though she beat the disease once, her heart could not endure the long battle. She passed away surrounded by family, leaving behind a legacy of grace, resilience, and boldness. Nancy Marshon was a queen of character actinga performer who could convey volumes with a single arched eyebrow or pause. Best known for her portrayal of aristocratic newspaper publisher Margaret Pynchon in Lou Grant, for which she won 4 Emmys, and later as the chillingly manipulative Livia Soprano on The Sopranos, Marshon brought a sharp intellect and biting wit to her roles. Her portrayal of Livia Soprano in particular broke new ground. As the toxic matriarch of the crime family, she gave audiences a masterclass in passive-aggressive menace, all delivered through clipped words and weary glances. She was battling cancer and heart failure during the filming of The Sopranos and passed away before her storyline could be completed. In a groundbreaking moment in television history, her character appeared posthumously through the use of early digital editing, a haunting, yet oddly beautiful tribute to her talent. Off-screen, Nancy was a classically trained actor, fiercely private and deeply respected by her peers. She never courted stardom, but her legacy continues in the strength of the complex women she portrayed with such nuance. Polly Bergen was a woman of many faces and, each one unforgettable. A gifted actress, sultry singer, savvy businesswoman, and vocal health advocate, she lived a life that defied easy categorization. In the 1962 psychological thriller Cape Fear, her portrayal of a terrorized wife added depth to what could have been a one-dimensional role. Decades later, she surprised a new generation with her work on Desperate Housewives, proving that age had not dulled her edge. But perhaps even more admirable than her on-screen versatility was her openness about personal battles. She publicly detailed her struggle with emphysema, a result of years of smoking, and the damage it had done to both her lungs and heart. Polly used her platform to raise awareness about COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, heart disease, and the long-term health effects of lifestyle choices. She refused to be a passive victim of her illness. Instead, she became an advocate for prevention and education. As her health declined, her vibrant personality never faded. She died peacefully in her Connecticut home, her legacy not just carved in Hollywood history, but also in the lives of those she inspired to take charge of their health. Martha Raye was a larger-than-life figure in every sense. Dubbed the Big Mouth for her booming voice and bold comedic style, she delighted audiences on stage, screen, and radio. But her biggest audience and her most grateful was the United States military. Martha traveled tirelessly to entertain American troops in World War II, Korea, and Vietnam, often at great personal risk. She didn't just perform, she served, sometimes even assisting medics in battle zones. For her unmatched dedication to the armed forces, she was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom and earned the title of Honorary Green Beret. Behind the scenes, though, Martha's life was fraught with personal turmoil and health issues. Multiple marriages, professional ups and downs, and a relentless schedule took a toll. In her later years, her body weakened from the strain of years in the spotlight and medical complications. Heart problems and pneumonia eventually overcame her, but her spirit remained as defiant as ever. Martha Raye wasn't just a comedian, she was a force of nature and a patriotic soul whose legacy lives on in every soldier she made laugh when they needed it most. Tauric connection, she steered clear of politics and preferred to be remembered for her own accomplishments. She was deeply private, rarely granting interviews, or Jane Wyman was elegance personified on screen and off. Winning the Academy Award for Johnny Belinda, 1948, she gave a stunning performance as a deaf-mute woman, portraying layers of strength and vulnerability without saying a word. That role cemented her as one of the most gifted actresses of her generation. Throughout a career that spanned more than 50 years, she brought grace to every performance, from heart-wrenching dramas to television hits like Falcon Crest in the 1980s. Outside Hollywood, Wyman was famously the first wife of Ronald Reagan. Yet, despite the making public appearances later in life, Jane lived quietly in California, content with her memories, her faith, and the knowledge that her body of work spoke for itself. In her final years, as her heart grew weak, she remained surrounded by loved ones and remembered by millions. She died peacefully, her life a shining example of quiet strength, lasting talent, and dignified independence. Estelle Getty didn't become a star until later in life, but when she did, she made it count. As Sophia Petrillo on The Golden Girls, she was the salty Sicilian matriarch with a mile-a-minute mouth and a heart of gold. With her signature wicker purse and wisecracking one-liners, she stole every scene, often delivering the funniest punchlines with the most deadpan expressions. She became the unofficial grandmother of America. But Estelle's real-life journey was anything but easy. She had struggled for years as a stage actress and worked in secretarial jobs to support her family. When the Golden Girls came along, she was already in her 60s and had to endure hours in the makeup chair each day to play the older Sophia. Yet she never complained she had waited her whole life for this kind of role. In her final years, Estelle suffered from Lewy body dementia, a cruel illness that robbed her of her memory, identity, and ultimately, her health. Her heart too began to fail, leaving fans and loved ones heartbroken. Still, her legacy endures in every rerun, every laugh, every fan who still quotes her lines. Estelle Getty made the world laugh when it needed it most, and she did it with love. Delrice was nothing short of a powerhouse. Born Delrice Early, she began her career as a gospel singer, performing with Mahalia Jackson before transitioning into jazz and pop. Her velvet voice, rich with emotion and command, earned her Grammy nominations and a place among the greats. But it was her second act as an actress and spiritual mentor that truly cemented her place in American hearts. As Tess in Touched by an Angel, Della played the guiding force who helped people find their purpose, one episode at a time. Her performances were deeply felt, filled with both grace and wisdom, and often drew on her real-life experience as an ordained minister. She brought not just lines to her role, but love, and that's what resonated with millions of viewers around the world. In her later years, Della suffered from type 2 diabetes and other health complications, including heart failure, which gradually slowed her down. Yet, true to form, she continued to perform, preach, and inspire until her final days. Her passing was deeply mourned, but her life was a radiant songone that continues to echo with hope, faith, and soul. Lynn Redgrave emerged from one of the most famous theatrical families in the world, yet she forged her own distinctive path with courage and wit. From her breakout role in Georgie Girl, 1966, which earned her an Oscar nomination, to her poignant performances in Shine and Gods and Monsters, Lynn's work was marked by vulnerability, fierce intelligence, and emotional honesty. Unlike many of her peers, she embraced roles that explored the awkwardness and contradictions of womanhood, often portraying characters who were not traditionally glamorous, but deeply real. Off-screen, she was outspoken about women's issues, body image, and the challenges of balancing career and family. Lynn's life was also marked by personal pain, including a very public divorce and a long, grueling battle with breast cancer. Through it all, she remained active in theater and film, even writing and performing in autobiographical one-woman shows that laid her soul bare. In the end, her heart, already battered by illness and chemotherapy, could no longer keep pace. But Lynn Redgrave's impact on the stage, screen, and in the hearts of audiences lives on vivid, brave, and unforgotten.